gentlemen, to ShockCast 207, that red dot all about. I am your host, George Jimenez, staff writer from DualShockers.com. Joining me this week, Sonny, who just does not want to sit still. Also, returning, our soothsayer, our master of predictions, Joel Tavares.
Oh, thank you.
Ryan Meisel is here too.
Joel, when does the PS5 come out?
In exactly 2 years from today.
And returning again, our Star Wars aficionado, Yaris Gutierrez.
Hello, folks. Hello.
How is Utah treating you?
Like shit.
Okay, great.
That's. I'll just keep it as simple as possible. It's pretty. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's getting bad.
Cool. So video games happened this week. Ryan, give me a run through. Even though we're all still kind of playing The Witcher, so I kind of don't care. But Ryan,
yeah, does it really matter that there are new games coming out when the Witcher was out? So.
I want
to hear some obscure Japanese title. Go, say it.
There's probably going to be one in here. Alright, so the game releases we have, let's see, so we did this week's releases. So for May 31st to June 7th, we have Hatred for PC, Massive Chalice for Xbox One and PC, Lord of Magna, Made in Heaven for 3DS, The Escapists for PS4, You Must Build a Boat for PC, D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die for PC, the Swapper for Xbox One, and then for June 7th to the 14th, because there's only 2 new games, we have The Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited for Xbox One and PS4, and Operation Abyss New Tokyo Legacy for Vita. There's your obscure Japanese game.
Yes.
So nothing that's really going to be competing with The Witcher. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Elder Scrolls. That's really about it. So
I don't know.
What, you don't think You Must Build a Boat is going to take it?
I know, or Hatred, or
it's a game that's telling you what to do in the title already.
Hatred, no. Hatred is probably a game I'll be interested in playing, but for my very own reasons.
Yeah, I mean, interested in the sense that there was all this like really crazy publicity behind it, so it's like, oh, let's see if it's actually a piece of garbage. And I'm pretty
sure it's going to be a piece of crap. I mean, again, I like judging games before I play them, but assuming what they're aiming for, I can only hope for the worst.
Joel, what are you going with?
I'm gonna go with The Witcher.
All right.
I don't care.
Fine. You know what? Okay. Ryan.
I'm gonna go with D4 because it looked pretty fun on Xbox One and weird and bizarre. So I don't have an Xbox One, but I'm sure when it's out on PC, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see, because I think that game only sold like 10,000 copies on Xbox One.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. It's like...
yeah, it was some insane number where, like, where he was on Twitter, like, yeah, I wish Microsoft helped us out a little bit in marketing this game. But, yeah, it's a good thing, more people should be able to play, because I did review, and I actually really dug that game. One of the only few games where it's like, oh, okay, I see the Kinect is useful, because, you have to swing a mannequin's arm like a baseball bat on an airplane to knock down a, criminal. Are you okay, man? You're not big in D4, are you? But anyway,
I like the art style bit. It looks pretty cool. Yeah,
I mean it's a silly game. It's the guys who made Deadly Premonition. So if you want that kind of humor or just that kind of weirdness, yeah, that D4 is for you. And it's episodic. So there's a prequel in episode 1 and 2, but I don't think, like I said, it only sold 10,000 copies. So I don't foresee an episode 3 and 4 coming anytime soon.
That's sad.
Well, yeah, Joel, now that I have you here, I want to congratulate you on another prediction.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah,
me?
Just Mr. Industry. Look at you.
What?
I'm gonna start calling you Michael Pachter, but I think that might be an insult, so I'm not sure.
Please don't downgrade me like that, please.
Pachter's not that good looking, Jesus.
So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Joel was on a few weeks ago when we were talking about Konami's craziness happening on the corporate level, and if you see me fitzing over here, it's because my dog decided to attack my arm. So. We were discussing what is Konami doing? They pulled PT. Silent Hills doesn't exist anymore. They told Hideo Kojima to go home. So we were saying, what the hell's happening? Are they going to stick with gambling machines or health spas? Joel says they're going to go mobile, I bet. And lo and behold, they released a statement saying that they were shifting their focus to mobile games and the mobile market. Joel, how does it feel?
It feels good. I love being right. If there's one thing I enjoy, it's being right.
What was the indicator that they were going to go mobile?
So
something there.
You know what? It's. I think it's twofold, right? So I think it's where the market shifted to in Japan, right? Because that's where it is right now in terms of just how it works for them and gaming, and a lot of people there are commuting on rail and have a long trip to and from work or whatever. But it's that in combination with that like old school. I don't want to say stubbornness, but like that old school. Well, we're in Japan. We've pretty much made the industry, so we know what's what, and this is the way.
Ego
kind of deal. So I don't want to say nationalistic or whatever, but it's that sense of like we're the granddaddies of this business, and we dictate how it works, and this is how it's going to work going forward. They're basically saying it works in Japan, so it's going to work everywhere, and you can, if you don't like it, kiss their ass.
Yeah, and I guess from a publisher standpoint, just the rising price in game development and mobile games is just a lower risk.
Oh yeah.
There's just money everywhere. It's like you can release a Metal Gear Solid CCG game on the iPhone, and that's going to make them a ton of money, and that's only going to cost them, maybe under $1 million, as opposed to the. I'm only going to assume that Phantom Pain is probably maybe one of the most expensive games, development-wise, up there. Well into the. Do we want to say over 100 million? Maybe.
I don't know about that, but I'm sure it's up there probably.
I think it's definitely over 100.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely over 100. Definitely.
And it's like, so how many copies of that game would need to sell for it to be, quote unquote profitable? Where, do we get into another Tomb Raider situation where it's like, hey, we sold 3 million copies, we didn't even break even, and it's like, wow, then what's the point?
Right, and that's what it is. Now, an interesting tidbit today. I don't know if any listeners or you guys follow the technology side of things, but today was Google I/O, which is basically their developers conference, and one of the big points that they made today was that there are 3.1 billion, with a B, activated Android devices in the world.
That's insane.
What? That's nuts. So as we are in this current console generation, and that consoles are literally flying off the shelves as fast as they ever have, if not faster. I mean, the PS4 and the Xbox One, respectively, are off to amazing starts. Right? There's 35 million consoles out there, according to Take-Two's last financial earnings report. Something really crazy.
They projected even more, where it's like,
but it still doesn't even compare with that market. You're talking for consoles, you're talking maybe a couple tens of millions versus 3 billion, potentially. So obviously the market's much wider. Right.
So if you're talking about a console in 1 out of every 3 American homes, after a 10-year life cycle, there's 7 Android devices in each of those homes. So it's that you can't even compare them, honestly. So you just need one good title to take off. It doesn't even have to be that. It doesn't have to be good. It just move. It just has to move a couple units. Your development costs are a lot lower. Your licensing costs are a lot lower, and the margins are higher. You're not making that big chunk up front. But the money you make over time is just stupid, and
I mean, it's also easy to market a game for $5 or $1 than it is to market a game for $60. So the profit margin is much larger there, especially when you consider again 3.1 billion users using a mobile device compared to the 31 million.
I was gonna say, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. I had watched a video of a recap of today's announcements, and that's one of the things that Sundar Pichai, the head of, I totally butchered his name, the head of Android. That was one of his announcements today, so I was just that's crazy.
Yes, I mean, and I know when, I guess the hardcore gamer, this is stuff they don't want to hear, but the reality is...
Because they feel threatened. They feel don't mess with my hobby kind of deal.
Yeah, and the thing is, and they don't want to hear it, but you know what? This decision was kind of made looking at the bottom of a spreadsheet saying, whoa, we can make more money doing this than doing this.
That's right.
Well, at the end of the day, it's business. I mean,
I know. Well,
that's what you understand it. I mean, we can be as angry as we want to be for PT not being released or development stopping, but at the end of the day, they are a company first and foremost, and they're the people that they care about above all else is their shareholders. So
and there'll be other games. It's not it's not like I think what we're going to see is a decline in these quote unquote AAA games where I don't think we're going to see that many. Give me a AAA title that's always been on point every year. You have your Metal Gear Solids, you have your, god damn it.
You have your Call of Duties, your Metal Gear Solids, your Assassin's Creeds,
those tentpole games that are going to sell X amount of copies. So it's like, at some point, there's going to be a decline and a fall, in a fall. Like Assassin's Creed, and I think we're kind of seeing it now. People don't trust Assassin's Creed.
Just right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, like the overhead for development, I think, in games like that aren't very high, considering that they pretty much regurgitate the engines and a lot of the assets. So I don't think it's not like like The Witcher 3 where they have to build the engine or build on top of it per se.
Right.
A lot of the development costs is more expensive when they first release a new engine and a new game for a new generation. After that, the costs they just go down. So I mean, it's easy for them to to release an Assassin's Creed as it would be for them to release another AAA game.
Yeah, and we were joking earlier about, hey Joel, when's the PS5 coming out? And it's like, these costs going up. I think they're going to make this console generation last as long as possible, just because
the next one is the last physical thing. No, that's it. It's games as a service. Take it or leave it. This is going to be. Whatever.
Get your Sony box and you can stream your Sony games, and then get your Xbox box and stream your Xbox games. Get your Ubisoft box and stream your Ubisoft games. Like, oh.
Yeah, I think Joel brings up a good point. That I think with this generation, they're introducing, but I think they're weaning a lot more aggressively the digital market to gamers. I honestly only have one PS4 game on disc, and Joel can tell you I'm a big collector of video games. All my PS4 games are on digital.
And it's funny you mentioned that, Yaris, because speaking of digital, our own Joel Tavares wrote a lovely editorial about just, guys, let's just go digital. I think I'm paraphrasing a bit, but I think that's what Joel was trying to say. It's like, let's embrace this digital lifestyle and just go Blade Runner, Matrix, just jack me in, let's go.
No, you know what it was, though? Like I mentioned in the piece, though, what spawned that was... it was that earnings call, and I go to the comments, and everyone's like, "No, I'm not doing this." Like it's just like I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, what does it take for you to realize that it's a good thing to have? Like, I don't know.
But Joel, I like to crack open the cellophane wrap and smell my game and know this is my game, and I can trade it $12 anytime I want.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, though. I mean, from a consumer perspective, I think the ability to actually own it, to actually have it physically, is what. The prospect of not having that option is what pretty much annoys some people, and I think it kind of annoys me at the same time as well, because I like collecting. I like collecting Blu-rays. I like collecting video games. So not having that option, or to think about not having the option in the future, it's kind of saddening. Saddening. Wow, what the fuck am I speaking? It's kind of frustrating, I guess, to think. But I think Joel brings up some pretty good points in his article.
And then it's funny because this generation with the PS4 and Xbox One, all that disc does is just verifies ownership of the game, because you're installing the game on the hard drive anyway. All you're doing is just getting an extra verification process on there. And
I think it also, when you look at it compared to the whole, PT and Konami scandal, where I think that's kind of a good, not to deflate Joel's point, but just to kind of be a counter argument against, digital games, where it's like, Konami has removed the game from the servers and you can't re-download it. So PT, basically, like myself and all the other people that have PT downloaded on their PS4, like if you delete it, it's gone, because you won't be able to re-download it, you won't be able to replay it. And, I think it's just one of those things that does kind of show, one of the more positive aspects of physical games, where it's like, my digital games, I don't know if they'll work in 10 years from now or however long, if they'll even be accessible anymore.
Yeah. Right, because the issue with digital is that after a certain amount of time, and obviously I hope they don't do this, but they usually tend to cancel services. You see that all the time with MMOs. People invest all this kind of money, for example, like Warhammer Online. This is a pretty bad example, but people invest all this money into it, and at the end of the day, 2 or 3 years later, we're going to stop supporting the game. You can no longer download or play it, so you're pretty much screwed. You spend all this money, and you have nothing to show for it after that.
You sound like a disgruntled Matrix Online patron.
I think you're upset. Man.
No, not at all. I actually hated Warhammer Online. It wasn't my favorite, and Matrix Online was even worse. George, I don't know why you even mentioned that game.
But I was thinking about Matrix Online, I'm just like, I wish I got into that. I don't know why.
I don't. Absolutely not. I don't know. I mean, as of right now, it's kind of difficult to see us going digital, because there are so many limitations. You have disk space is one. Internet connections is bandwidth is another one. So I mean, there's a lot of limitations right now. But considering how we're going forward and how technology is advancing, and how dirt cheap storage disks are becoming, I don't disagree with Joel that digital is probably going to be the norm at some point.
And and it should be, and it's going to come down to a moment of, like you mentioned, disk space, internet speed, broadband. Some people just have crappy broadband where it's like we've tried downloading Xbox One and PS4 games, and man, do they take a while sometimes, especially on the PS4 side, where it's like, hey, I can't wait to play this game tonight. It's like, you're not going to play it tonight because you got to download it for 5 hours, and then you got to patch it. So you might be able to play tomorrow night if you're not.
Yeah, but the counter argument with that is nowadays you have to install games. So you're still sitting around waiting like a douche anyway to play the game.
Yeah, but it's coming
True,
off.
but it goes off a disc, which is generally faster than relying on an internet connection, depending on what your connection's like.
Guys, our consoles can actually wait for it. Can preload the software before the game is even out. It's a beautiful thing, guys. It's a great time to be alive.
I mean, if you live in fucking Arkansas, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, I'm gonna side with Joel here. Preloading is amazing.
That's like, come on.
Witcher 3, and then
the Witcher, I was in my underwear, didn't leave my house. Oh, what is that? CD Projekt Red was like, listen, we're gonna spot you $7, and you're gonna give you a game early, and you don't have to do shit. Yeah. I was like, what? Oh,
I thought I did something, and I was just like, oh, is this illegal? What did I do? Like, they're playing Witcher at 8 o'clock. Like, this is awesome. And yeah, I didn't have to go to GameStop at midnight or do something silly like that, or wait for my Amazon shipment in the morning, or sometimes you get lucky and they'll ship it on a Sunday, but then they forget, and now you have to go pick it up at the post office. Like, no.
Yeah, it was so nice.
Digital is awesome.
It was so nice.
Folks, people just hate change.
That's what it is.
People hate change. I mean, people, when from DVD to Blu-ray, Joel remembers when I was first collecting and how crazy I was with going Blu-ray, and some people just didn't want to make the change. Same thing from VHS to DVD. People did not want to go from VHS to DVD.
Yeah,
I feel like the more apt comparison is to music. To going to iTunes and going digitally there. I feel like games are kind of going in the same sort of direction where yeah.
That's a perfect example, actually.
Yeah. Like, I haven't bought a CD in who knows how long at this point, because everything I get I either listen to through Spotify or something like that, or just download it through iTunes.
Because you're paying for the convenience, and I think the biggest point that people have against it is like, well, it's the same price, and it's like, yeah, I get that, and you know why it's the same price, because why would Microsoft or Sony shoot themselves in the foot and undersell their retail partners at GameStop, Best Buy, Target? Like, they would never, ever do that outside of, like, hey, it's a Memorial Day sale, all these games are half price. But because they still need these big box retailers to sell their consoles and their controllers and all their hardware. So, so what you have to do is, if you're going to make the same price, you have to make it more alluring to me as a consumer, where it's like, oh, I can preload this, and then right at midnight or 8 p.m. sometimes, I can play my game ahead of time. Oh, EA Access, I just download it and play it 5 days in advance? That's awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I guess people are just like, well, I don't see a box. Are you going to charge me a cent? You got to cut the cost of... I'm like, guys, a box costs like 80 cents. All right? Not doing anything for the price. Just like, let's get over that, and we'll be okay.
I do see a games as a service. I do see that happening.
They just download the game and, like, print your own jewel case for it and put it on your shelf.
There you go. They should do that. You can go right to the site.
They should do that. Be like, hey, if you want to print out the artwork, go here.
Yeah, there's a PDF. You can do it. You can do that with, was it a massive? I think it was a Bioware game where you were to print out like alternate covers.
That was what you could download, like FemShep and.
Yeah. You can just look at that. There, stop complaining. But it's funny we talk about convenience. How many times, and this happens to me once or twice, where I want to play a game, I realize it's not in the system, and then I have to get up and put it in, and then I just say, you know what, I just won't play it then.
That is by far the laziest shit I've ever heard in my life, George.
I wanted to play Dragon Age the other day, Inquisition, because it was a review copy, so I didn't have a... when I got it was for review, so I don't have a digital version of it. It was a CD. And my tower of games is over there, and my Xbox was down here, and I just turned around and I just said, screw it, I'm just going to play more Witcher. Like, if it was digital, you can just go, you ploop it down, and people complain about space. I don't know how many games people play at once. I'm actively rotating around 2 or 3 games at any given moment, and I know that doesn't take up all my memory. So, I don't mind re-downloading something if I'm advanced. I'm like, do I want to play some FIFA 15 at some point? Sure, I'll keep it downloading in the background, but...
I guess I'm a hoarder. Even digitally, I'm a hoarder. I have like 60 games on my PS4 for no reason.
No, get rid of it, man. It's so liberating, man. When I moved, I got rid of all my boxes of games and controllers and crap, and I was just like, oh, I have digital versions of this. Why do I have 2 copies of fucking Army of 2? Like, it's great, man. It's so liberating, and you just get rid of all that crap, and it's beautiful. Unburden yourself, Yaris.
I don't know, man. Again, I think it comes down to being nostalgic too. At the same time, I mean, we come from an age where, 1985, 1986, when Nintendo first came out, and we were just collecting. I mean, that's what me and Joel did. We collected games and we swapped. We lent to each other. And with digital, that's the issue with digital platforms, is that you don't have that option to actually lend your friend a game.
Well, yeah, because unless
you have Steam.
Well, the publishers wisened up and be like, well, no one's buying these games if one person keeps lending it to all their friends. So I could see why, the businessman George in a suit and cigars is like, crashing around, the DRMs, they should all pay for everything. Don't share. Couch co-op, fuck that guy. Give him next Xbox Live, get his own copy.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's kind of where the issue lies as well, though. Because I guess it feels like you're taking away your freedom. And that freedom is, you being able to take the product that you own. Obviously, you don't own the game, but you own the right to play it, I guess. But just being able to actually lend it to somebody, or like Ryan said, 10 years down the line, if I do want to play something and I do have, I can buy a retro console, or I do still own the console, I could just pop the disc in and play it. We can't say 10 years from now PSN is going to exist.
I would not be surprised. I think the digital rights issue is going to be a problem 20, 30 years from now, when when a Microsoft or Sony just decide to, why would we want to support this? And then, who then scoops up these rights and these services? Will it just be like an Amazon, or will GameTap come back and just say, hey, man, do you want to play all your classic PS3 games? It's $19.99. What's the PS Now price for that?
Per month? I think it was like $20 or something. Around there.
Okay, well, yeah, that's not too bad, and I guess that's one way of kind of keeping the old stuff alive. But but they don't have PS1 or PS2 games yet on PS Now, do they?
I don't think so. I think that they're planning to, but I don't think that's part of the library just yet.
I want. All right,
guys. GameStop is releasing retro consoles again, or they're encouraging people to bring in the retro consoles to resell them to people that actually care about that.
Yeah, I mean. That's awesome. GameStop needs to figure out a way what they're doing, because I think GameStop is kind of like reading the tea leaves and going, they're going to go digital at some point. So this whole used game thing is not going to help us out anymore unless we go older. And I think people will. I think people will. How much are you willing to spend on a refurbished Super NES, Yaris?
Nothing, because I have a Raspberry Pi. Just saying.
Okay, let's say you want a refurbished SNES. How much would you pay?
If for an SNES, the most I would pay for an original console, if it was like brand new in the box, probably $250, $300.
Okay,
I'd pay that.
No. I don't think they're going to sell new. I'm thinking these are going to.
No, they're refurbished. But obviously, for a refurbished console, $60 at most I'd pay for one. But if it's a brand new in the box, again, as a collector, I'd pay what I need to pay for it. But it's a refurb, $60 is more the most I'd probably be.
I mean, you guys have kids. I know you guys are going to start when you start on their video gaming regimen. You're going to start with the classics like Genesis, Sega. Like, no, you can't touch the PS4. You have to earn your.
I really, honest to God, me and my wife had the discussion yesterday. I told her when Marcus is older, he is starting with Nintendo. Like, he's going to start from the very beginning where I started.
Dad, this isn't even HD. Composite hurts my eyes.
Oh, I'm going to get a CRT TV just for that purpose.
A little one too, one that's like this big and with
with the VCR in it.
All right, let's jump into news. Since so what's the moral of the story? It's gonna happen, so just shut up, right? Are we okay with that?
Yeah,
basically.
I guess.
Yeah. Basically,
sure.
Just deal with it.
Okay, guys, the internet's not burning. You'll be fine. All right, so let's just dive into some news headlines. All you Witcher people. No, just me.
Yeah, no.
No. I'm playing Witcher, my good man.
Okay. You guys are on PC or Xbox One, PS4?
PC.
You're also on PC, Joel.
PS4.
On PS4.
PS4. Well, have you guys noticed? Well, just Joel, that the text can be somewhat small.
Yes.
Yes.
Somewhat. Very.
If you try playing The Witcher on a regular TV and playing it from couch distance,
Oh, good luck.
You can't read anything. You need to be this far away from the screen in order to truly enjoy The Witcher.
I play in my living room, so it's a big ass TV there. I don't really play games in the bedroom, but yeah, no, it's small. It's small on a big TV.
Yeah, that just like reminded me of when Dead Rising came out, and it was in that weird.
Oh, that was the worst. God, that was.
It was in that weird. Not everyone had HD TVs just yet, so they had this weird go-between, and whatever messages you saw, you couldn't read the text, and I was just like.
Yeah, I had that problem in Dead Rising because like they formatted the text for HD TVs, but I had an SD TV at the time, so the text was literally this. I could not read it at all on my little SD TV. So.
Yeah, so there's a huge patch coming in this week that is going to increase the size of the typeface, so you should be able to read it, including subtitles, because I figure that's probably useful too, because people, they need to read the things on the bottom.
I do that. So
the patch will also feature on the Xbox One. Will do a frame rate lock at 30 and remove a save problem, and this will hopefully go live by this Friday. Tomorrow, if you're watching this, it happened already. Hopefully. There's a bunch of new PS4 stuff that went there because on the PS4 you can complete some quests and not get EXP, which I think sounds like an issue.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah, it seems like there have been some pretty like game-breaking bugs for Witcher. Like between that and there was the suspend mode bug in Xbox One, where people like left their consoles in rest mode for a while and then tried playing it again. The game couldn't save or they'd lose progress. So there's some pretty wacky ones. So
in that game, save system is super fucked. Like I hate the checkpoint system because it doesn't autosave when you meditate, which is annoying. Because I feel like if that would be the best time, because you're meditating before a fight, you boost up your stats. Not an autosave. It autosaves, I think, when it fast travels.
Yeah, that in that case, like I would do what I call the Bethesda save game method, which is where you save after everything, where you just save.
Wait, are you playing? Wait, George, what are you playing on?
I'm playing on Xbox One. So I had that weird suspend mode where it's like my save.
Oh, that's weird because I when I go to do my manual saves, because I still do a manual. I feel like when I go in there though, the game logs like my last 5 things. Really?
Yeah, because I was doing a mission where I had to kill a rock troll for I need to get legendary forging crap for a forger. So I remember saving at some point. I got to this village. I meditated. I was like, cool, I'll meditate. And then I, got on my horse for like 5-10 minutes, and it's all pretty and stuff. I go to this cave. I fight this troll guy. He kicks my ass. I'm like, oh, well, what a bummer. I remember meditating right before I fought him, and the save took me back to where I fast traveled. And I had to do that all over again, and then I kept forgetting.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I kept forgetting to save before I fought him.
That's insane.
No, that's crazy.
3 times.
I've actually had. I mean, not that quest, but I had one early on. Which one was that? So it's one of the campaign missions where basically you have to go into like a temple and fight one of the wraiths or whatever. And every single time because I died a lot that night, I was very frustrated. But every single time, it would literally pick up right from there, and there was a lot of stuff before that. So that's crazy. I wonder if it's an isolated thing on Xbox One.
I don't know.
But I guess everyone
has different issues with the game, I've noticed.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
But particularly the saves, I'm not a huge fan of the save system in that game, just because I've come from playing a game like Dragon Age or any Bethesda game where every little thing you do just kind of saves anyway. Oh, you see a new building, save. Oh, you just walked into a house, save. I want that. Save everything. Bullshit. But yeah,
it's the same mission in Witcher 2 though.
Yeah, but I think if you're playing it on the PC, you're already doing an I remember playing Witcher 2 on PC and F5ing or quick saving all the time. Like every time I did something just kind of particularly new, or there's a new item, or if I knew I had a choice coming up, particularly right in before Act 3. At the end of Act 2, you have to make a choice, and that completely changes how your Act 3 is. So I remember saving like right there, and then saving it at the new place, and then saving in the alternate place. Yeah, I'm a notorious like kind of autosaver.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're playing The Witcher and having some issues, you know, your cries have been heard. CD Projekt Red, who I think has been doing a fantastic job of just addressing any and all issues, and you know, I want to nominate them for like Developer of the Year just for being super cool. And you know, DRM,
they have been really responsive. I'm actually quite impressed because a lot of companies. I mean, not that all of them do it, but they usually take a while to patch things up. I mean, these guys are on the ball.
I guess because they are a PC company, so it's like maybe it's more maybe it's a PC centric thinking where it's just like they're kind of always working on the game. Because that's what I thought the issue was like with that typeface. I was like, clearly this game was designed for the PC, and that was just kind of like an oversight where it's like, ooh, what if people play this on console? What's going to happen? Like, to me, I think they're like a PC first kind of company. Particularly when you see
definitely. I mean, both the previous games were pretty PC focused and came out on PC first. So you know, I think this is still, even though Witcher 2 did come out on Xbox later, I think maybe this is still a little new to them to be, you know, having this mindset of keeping, you know, console development in mind too.
Yeah, and this got me way more excited for their what was that game, Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we see something like that at E3. Or is that too far?
Well, they said that you won't really be knowing more about it for quite a while. Because they said that this year and next year they're going to be focusing mostly on Witcher stuff. So probably not for at least till 2017 we'll know more about it. So it's still a ways off, but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
They're also already in the process of doing Witcher 4, from my understanding.
Good. More Witcher. I want more.
And they're also releasing the movies, or the movies are in talks.
Yes, I want more Witcher. Just inundate me with just Witcher nonsense. I love it.
I'm gonna change my son's name to Geralt.
The White Wolf, parentheses.
Geralt of Rivia.
All right, what else we got? NCSoft, those lovable Koreans. They aim to be the key leader in Western gaming, guys. The gloves are off. They want to expand to cross-platform and mobile. They're going hard, and you know, these were just these free MMO guys, and I'm kind of curious to see what projects that they were. Were these the City of Heroes guys? I'm trying to think. They have like a ton of MMOs under their belt.
NCSoft, yeah, that's what they do. That's like their thing.
And I just assume that they just make nothing but money. Like, all right, let's see what they have. WildStar, Lineage 2. People are still playing that. Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 1. Blade and Soul. And, wow, Ion. Remember that game with the elves and the wings and stuff? Wow, who knew? They're doing an expansion. Holy balls. Okay.
I also hear that, I think actually it was released today in the press release, WildStar is actually going free to play.
Yes, that was actually my next news bit. WildStar is going free to play.
Wasn't WildStar that game that Boston was covered in during PAX?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the Firefall of PAX that year.
Yeah, basically. It was
okay. We're in beta, guys. We're in beta. We're coming out soon.
Yeah, that game was in beta for a long time, and then I think when it came out, it was
very long time.
and then it came out, and it was like a totally serviceable MMORPG. Like I don't think it it didn't have all the flash of like say like the Star Wars one when it came out, or like what was another big MMO that like.
Yes, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, there was a lot of fanfare. WildStar was just like, hey man, we're here. Remember us? And we were like, oh, like, you're not out? I thought you were out. Like when WildStar released last year, I just assumed that it's been out for years because it was in beta for God knows how long. But yeah, free to play. That seems to be the model. Release your monthly subscription MMO, and then reel them in, and then go free to play once you see once the red line goes down here, and then the straight line is here. You go free to play, and then this goes back up.
I like that. I like that.
Well, at least they hope so.
Yeah, but it's so funny because just the money you make, and like right now, like Star Wars: The Old Republic is doing great. Are you squeaking over there, my man?
What?
Go.
Well, part of it I wonder is even if it's just a downward trend in MMOs in general, because I know Activision or Blizzard I know said that like WoW subscriptions have been way down since, or at least like they've lost like a third of their user base or something like that. It was a pretty big chunk.
After War of the General was released, I think they went up to I want to say 10 or 11 million.
It was around there, yeah.
And they dropped 3 million.
Yeah, it was a pretty significant portion, and then you look at Elder Scrolls, Knights, or the Old Republic, all these games going free to play. I just wonder maybe if it's just like kind of that the MMOs in general are just kind of people are losing interest in them in that model. So
I don't think people are losing interest in MMOs because I think people still love MMOs in some way, shape, or form. Like to me, Destiny is like an MMO light, but I think it's just people have more options now. Where it's like, hey, I can go in and do my, if I've been playing Warcraft for 10 years, I think I might be on the ball and be like, I think I want to try something else. What's this DC Universe game about? That's not going to cost me anything to try out.
Yeah.
And I think at some point you're going to find the free MMO that kind of like tickles your fancy. So it's like, oh, there's a Star Wars one. Oh, there's one where people shoot each other in the face. Oh, there's one where we're medieval knights. Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's an MMO for everybody, but I think like I was a big WoW fan, and I literally kept playing until about like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and it's, I mean, as a player, I think one of the things that it's just MMOs in general that kind of suck is that the games do feel kind of repetitive. It's either that or they're catering to a specific crowd that are not the crowd that they were once catering to, which is quote-unquote the hardcore gamer. I mean, I get that they want to make the games easier to lure in more potential subscribers, but at the same time, they're pretty much forgetting about the core gamers that actually helped establish that, that following. So, I mean, me myself, I've lost interest in MMOs. So, I mean, and me and you, George, we spoke about, playing Star Wars Old Republic, and I still play from time to time, but I think right now it's just, I'm more invested in, I don't know, PC games and console games right now, I guess.
Yeah. And, and I would love, and we were joking about, like, oh, we should totally get back into, just do a Star Wars, come back in a month and see what that's like. But there's a time investment in MMOs that, like, I just don't have anymore. Where I get more immediate feedback doing 3 or 4 matches of Mortal Kombat, where it's like, hey, look, I won, blah blah blah, as opposed to, all right, this week I'm gonna go get to level 10, and next week level 50.
That could definitely be, that's definitely a factor. As a dad now and as a man that as I work in crazy hours, I don't have that time to put into the MMOs. I want to come in, I want to play quick and dirty games and get it out of the way. If 10 years ago, absolutely, I was able to do that. 12 years ago, absolutely, because I had nothing to do with myself. I go to work, come back, and sit around, jerk off, and play MMOs.
Oh.
Not in that order.
All at the same time? That's impressive.
Those Night Elf chicks at World of Warcraft are saying.
You can play World of Warcraft with one hand. It's not like...
Literally.
We should move on before this gets gross. Like,
it hasn't already? It hasn't?
It could get worse. Anyway.
But yeah, NCSoft, good for them. Free MMOs, that seems to be a thing. Good. No one has money. Maybe that's it. I don't know. And I think the free MMOs are targeting just a new audience. Where, the younger kids who don't have any cash but want to put in the Warcraft hours, but I can't scrounge together $15 a month. I think this works for them. It's kind of like why a kid only plays, you ask a kid what they're playing. Oh, I've been playing Minecraft. Well, do you want to Call of Duty game? No, I like Minecraft. My mom got me $20 of server time on this creepy guy's server. I'm going to play that. Oh, okay.
But I think that's what's happening though. I think you got those games that like those Game of War games and those Game of War is one with Kate Upton, right?
Yeah.
What's the other one? What's the other one that you get nonstop Facebook notifications from all your friends?
Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans, yeah.
No, is it Clash of Clans?
Yeah. Or Farmville or something like that.
Yeah, like and I think the mobile games are the ones that are pushing are the ones that are actually making a dent on that kind of like model, and maybe that's people are seeing it more acceptable. I don't know. No,
I mean it's a good point.
I like what Bethesda's doing though with the $60, pay once or whatever, because I'm sure they probably looked at analytics and said, the average subscription lasts, 3 or 4 months until they get tired. So you know what? They're going to take as much as they can off the top. Why not?
it makes sense, and it's a model that makes so much goddamn money. Because and I wish I can remember where this article came from, where they kind of broke down. I think it was Funcom, the guys who did Age of Conan, where they broke down how much people are willing to spend on, because if you just have a monthly subscription, it's always $15 a month.
Right.
But if you go free to play, but then you start charging people for a bunch of cosmetic gear, that's $1 here, $2 there. Hey, maybe extra inventory slots. Maybe they want like ×2 EXP, which is $7. Before you know it, they're like, hey, we have people spending $30 a month now, and they don't even notice because they're spending like $3 the first of the month, and then they get paid, and it's like, oh, I can buy some more gear, or I can buy a couple more hairstyles. That seems fun. Or I can buy some boosters. And then they were noticing like, hey, that that $15 is now $30, $45. I think the idea is they want to get those whales that are just kind of like absolutely crazy. It's like, I put $10 into my Clash of Clans account, and my guy's unstoppable. And it's like, yeah. And then you make it free because you want to give it to as many people as possible. And like, hey, a million people paying $15 a month is great. But if you have 200 million people paying like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 a month,
it's even better.
That's a lot more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, and just even making they even having a subscription. I mean, the guy that created Flappy Bird made $50,000 a day. I mean, just off of ad impressions.
Well, he's giving us $1, right? And he made his money on ads or something.
Android was free.
It was free.
Yeah, $50,000 in ads.
$50,000 a day, my man, on ads. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, he lost his mind. I would lose my mind too if I made.
He turned into Dave Chappelle. You have to walk away from the money.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
I would not do that.
You steal assets from a Nintendo game, you make the money, and just move on. All right, just. Allegedly, he stole the assets. Let me put that there for the pipes. Like, hey guys, Xbox One people, games with gold, they're free games this month. Hey, what is? Oh, wait a minute. So one of these games has been free for 2 or 3 months already now.
I know. I saw that and I was like, LOL.
So the first is Massive Chalice, which is actually making its console debut, and it'll be free for Xbox One owners. I actually, full disclosure, I kickstarted that one. Oh god, I put in $100 for this game.
What?
Wow.
Well, let me explain why. Because the backer reward was you get to create one of the families in the game. It's kind of very Games of Thrones-ish, where you pick a family and you get to like marry off people and be a mate, and you have a big house. So yeah, there's a House George in there somewhere, and you can pick it right from the start, which is amazing. And it's got a motto and my own little castle. And yeah, so I can show up as kind of a random.
Everyone has a beard?
Yeah.
Wait, so is there a House of George?
Yes, it's awesome.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'll link it on my Twitter or something, so that way you know.
I think I'm gonna download this game just for that very reason, just because it has a House of George.
But yeah, if you have an Xbox One, it's free, so might as well go for it. Also, Pool Nation FX, which is weird because I did a joysticking with George a few months ago.
Well, yeah, no, that game I think has been available on Games of Gold for the last like 2 months. So they're kind of cheating that one a little bit.
Yeah,
I think,
they are.
What game is this?
Pool Nation FX.
Pool Nation FX. It's a pool game, and but yeah, it's been on Games with Gold for the last like 2 months, free.
I don't think they know what this actually. I don't know what they know. I don't think they know what to do with this program. Because we found out from Michael Pachter, when you give these games out for free, you actually have to pay the developer or the publisher. It's not just them giving games out for free. It costs them some money up front because the publisher, technically, if you're giving out something for free, you're not making any money. So someone down the line has to pay for something, and that's Microsoft paying. Okay. Microsoft. So it's Microsoft who has to foot the bill. So I figure they're just going out for like very cheap indie games. It's like, hey, you know what? 100 people are going to buy this game. Here's $1,000. Can we get?
Or they're going for Assassin's Creed 2, like games that have been in the bargain bin for the last like 4 years. So
right.
Funny you mentioned that because Xbox 360 owners will be able to finally get Just Cause 2, a game that is $15 brand new and under $10 used at GameStop.com. Actually, let me look that up and see how much Just Cause 2 is because
I'm sure it's selling it there.
It might be easier for you just to go to GameStop and buy it instead of just wasting time downloading it, but let's see.
Still plays at 360. Oh.
They must have made that announcement with the games with gold, and they like got all that like feedback, like people like screaming at them, like, "Hey, these games are already free." Yeah. And like, wait a minute, wait? So you're telling us Sony gives away free games, like for real?
Yep, just costs $10. So yeah, I mean, save yourself some time. You can go buy it, but you'll own it digitally, meaning it'll be on your hard drive, guys. It's the future.
I'm not gonna buy that shit then.
I just feel bad because usually Microsoft and Sony both kind of announce their games at Gold and PlayStation Plus games all the time, like around the same time at the end of the month. And PlayStation's always like, "Bam, we got this! Bam, we got that! Bam, we got this!" And then Microsoft's just kind of like, "Here's some hot garbage,"
Yeah.
It's like basically it's like.
Since the overwhelmingly positive response, here's more pool, guys. Yeah, because PSN is doing Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes for free.
That was pretty funny to see though, because people were like, "Oh, great! I get a free demo for my PS4." So
you got to make up for not being able to download PT anymore. Here's your free demo. Thanks, Konami. And then finally,
good guy, Konami.
And Thief, a game that is actually out on PS4, Xbox One. 360 owners will be download Thief for free. That's brand new. Yay, Thief! Not a great game. So I'm still one of those people where whenever I see all the games for gold in the PSN, I go to the website and I just start downloading them and purchasing them right off the bat, so I don't lose out. Because I don't own a Vita, but I still buy the free Vita games that come up on the PS Plus program every month.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. I mean, down the line. So I kick myself now for like not doing that before I had the PS4 because I was like, oh man, I missed out on like a couple like some good games there. But
stick it to the man.
Yeah.
All right, Games of Gold. That's done, guys. There was a 7-minute Batman gameplay trailer that looked awesome. Comments?
It looks cool.
I have not seen it yet, to be honest with you. I was busy trying to watch Kung Fury.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're gonna have to talk about Kung Fury in a bit, but yeah. It's a 7-minute trailer. It's on our website, DualShockers.com. We should go for video game news and other nonsense. Yeah, it's a lot of Batmobile stuff. So it's him blowing up drone tanks because Batman doesn't kill, so we can't have his.
I got a code for it for my PC after I bought my other graphics card. And I'm wondering whether or not I should pick it up for console instead. I mean, obviously it's going to look probably a little better on PC, but...
I'm going to get it for PS4, because I'm sure my PC probably can't handle it. But I'm excited to play it. I mean, like, maybe a little less so, because I just played Origins recently, and I wasn't too thrilled with Origins, but...
Origins bad. That's why.
Yeah, I know. Origins was not great, but I'm excited to play Arkham Knight. It looks cool. I think
Arkham Origins wasn't even created by Rocksteady.
No, I know that, but I think I'm just, in general, kind of getting burnt out on Batman a little bit. Like, just a little bit.
Whoa, Ryan. What the hell did you just
back
say?
Like Bane did, alright?
I'm going to beat the shit out of you with a stick like Joker did Robin.
Well, I know you're going to do that already because I said that I hate Revenge of the Sith, so you're going to do that anyway. But
that too. Let's not get back into that. But
Revenge of the Sith.
But Batman, Arkham Knight looks cool. I do like the Batmobile stuff. Looks really cool, so I'm excited to try that.
Yeah, because you'll shoot out of the Batmobile, you'll glide, and you can call your Batmobile like the Witcher can call his horse. And the Batmobile will just kind of show up, and you go in the Batmobile. So in the
George,
trailer...
Is that your dog biting your sex toys?
Yes. Does not like when we talk about video games and just says, "Meh, meh, 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 fuck you guys." But
I think I do really want to see the ridiculous videos people are going to make of the Batmobile just wrecking shit, basically. It's like where you're just like fighting dudes, the Batmobile will just crash through a wall and just take out a bunch of guys and stuff. It'll be cool, but I'm sure there's going to be some pretty ridiculous nonsense that happens because of that too.
Yeah, so the trailer has you saving Poison Ivy from Scarecrow's thugs, and then you throw her in the trunk of your car and then drop her off at the police station, which looks like it's going to be a... I'm thinking that's what's going to happen in the game when you have those cases where you have to, oh, what's Deadshot doing? Let me go stop him, throw him in my car, then drop him off at the police station. That might be a gameplay element going on in there. But it's cool. It's awesome. He opens up the back of his car, and he just... All right, Sonny, stop doing that. Thanks, man. But yeah, he opens up the back of his car. There's a chair with a harness in there, and he just throws him in there like it's a roller coaster. And then the car just kind of sucks him in, closes in behind them, and then you just really
watch this video now.
It was a little crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, they're going nuts. And there's also a lot of combat in there, so you get to see Batman fight like 20 dudes with like no problem. He threw a propane tank at a guy's face. I'm like, he's dead. Because when you detective vision that person, be like, oh, unconscious, and I'm like, no, that man is dead. So Batman looks good. Joel, I know you're a huge Mortal Kombat fan. No? Okay. Yaris, I know you're a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
Absolutely not.
Oh fuck.
I was when I was like 12.
Brian, I know you have the Mortal Kombat dragon tattooed on your arm, so.
Nope. No. If it's not Smash Brothers, I'm sorry.
He had to mention it. He had to mention it. Look at George's face. George's face just.
So.
You want to walk away for a second, George? Because the new amiibo came out. I don't know if you want to give Ryan like 2 minutes to talk about it.
No, it comes out tomorrow, not today. Yeah. So.
Speaking of amiibos, did you see that a truck of amiibos was hijacked by thieves?
I did, and it was pretty ridiculous that like that we've gotten to this point where now there's like, well, it wasn't that. It was also
Mad Max, where
I
the
think it was,
currency is amiibos, and that's.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, if you haven't seen it already, first go see Mad Max Fury Road because it's amazing. Second, there is a parody video someone made where it was Mad Max Mario Kart, like where they took the trailer and added Mario Kart like sound effects and stuff, and it is amazing. It's really really funny. But anyway, yeah, I saw that article about the truck that had Amiibo and Splatoon copies, and it got raided, and I was like, really, this is the point we've gotten to now? Like, people are going to die over plastic figurines?
Yeah,
that's really ridiculous.
Yeah, it felt like a Grand Theft Auto heist. Like, it's so weird.
That's what it looked like when I saw it. I was like, there's going to be a mission in GTA now that they're going to add. Rockstar's going to add now to that game. It'll be great.
But yeah, this was a truck containing Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy amiibos.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, characters from Splatoon. It's the hot new IP from Nintendo. What? What do you want from me? Here. Okay.
No, just out of curiosity, let me ask you: amiibos are just action figures? Is that it?
In theory, yes.
In theory, I mean, how scientific can we get?
The idea is that you're supposed to use kind of like Skylanders and Disney Infinity. You can use them in games to mainly for Nintendo stuff. They either unlock new content or in Smash Brothers, you use them and they summon special computer characters and things like that. So they're used to interact with different Nintendo games and do different things. But you can use them across multiple games. They're not just one per game.
Interesting.
Toys to life, man.
Pretty sure Al has 50,000 of them already.
Yeah, it's
it's
our generation's Jordans.
I've got 6 of them so far. I don't know if I'm gonna get many more, but I've got a couple.
I do want to get Mega Man.
Oh yeah, Mega Man was the first one that I saw because occasionally I'll go to Nintendo World Store in New York and I'll just browse and they had Mega Man and Sonic and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bite because Mega Man's is really cool looking. So
just picturing Ryan window
and then
amiibos.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. Was
I'll get you Meta Knight.
Before then, I didn't really want to get. Well, I have Meta Knight now, but anyway, it's I didn't really want to get amiibos, and then I saw Mega Man, and I was like, that opened the floodgates. Because then after that, I started getting them. So
wait, these stupid things are $20?
Yeah. No, they're $13.
They're 13. Where? I'm looking at Amazon right now. It's $21.94, $19.99.
Well, no, the regular price is $12.99. Some places it depends because certain amiibo are harder to find than others. So
actually, Rockman is it's $19.99. Okay, I'm adding to my cart actually right now.
That's probably an import one.
Somehow Ryan's toxic hobby has infected Yaris.
It's not my toxic hobby.
I'm literally adding it to my Amazon cart right now. I'm not lying. I'm dead serious.
Joel, how did we get here?
I don't know.
I just wanted to talk about Mortal Kombat, and somehow I ended up talking about amiibos. And
somehow they're in Yaris' cart.
I'm sorry. That was my fault.
I'm really upset with myself.
I mentioned Smash Brothers, and it went downhill.
And you know, I don't even care about this Mortal Kombat story anymore. Tanya's coming to Mortal Kombat next week. All right, I hope you're happy. She's a yellow ninja.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's up with Mortal Kombat? Go ahead, George. Express yourself.
Fine. Tanya, the yellow ninja is coming to Mortal Kombat next week. Yeah? Anyone? No?
I'll be excited when Predator comes, but for now I'm not really excited.
So out of 3 out of 4 people give 0 shits right now about Tanya and her yellow suit. So Sorry, George.
Tanya is a slender, gloomy woman from Edenia.
Although I did hear that the game is actually really good.
I know, Mortal Kombat is fantastic.
And I'm actually tempted to actually buy it because I haven't played Mortal Kombat for years.
It is a good Mortal Kombat game. Before you start, you should definitely YouTube all the cutscenes from Mortal Kombat 9, just to kind of it catches you up really well with the current game. Because if you haven't come to Mortal Kombat in a while, you're gonna boot up that story mode and be like, "Who the hell is Cassie Cage?"
The last Mortal Kombat I played was like Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah. So when you get introduced to the Combat Kids, which is the dumb name people have called the main 4 characters, because you got Jax's daughter. You've got Kung Lao's nephew, and Blind Kenshin's son is in the game, and they're kind of the main cast there.
Doesn't Johnny Cage have a daughter or something too?
Yeah, him and Sonya Blade got married, had a kid, and then got divorced, and it's actually written really well, and like it sounds like they kind of, they wiped out all of the lore in Mortal Kombat 9 because they do some crazy time travel nonsense. So they, like, X-Men Days of Future past it, where it's like, listen, we know this story does not make any sense. We're just going to wipe that slate clean with some really funny deaths, and we'll be good. And, yeah, they did that really well. And, yeah, good on you, Mortal Kombat Tanya. Comes out next week. If you have the Combat Pass, which is their season pass, you'll get it for free, and you also get some costumes. Jason came out a while ago. He was pretty good. I like hitting people with machete. That's fun. But yeah, that kind of took the steam because, god damn it, Ryan and your amiibos. and lastly, more Batman news because I love me some more Batmans. They're pre-order skins, guys. Aren't you excited about pre-order DLC? No.
Wait, for what game is it? Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight, yes, Batman Arkham Knight. Everyone's got their own pre-order bonus, but they released one today. It's called the Gotham's Future Skin Pack, where it's got the Dark Knight, Frank Miller's Dark Knight, or Ben Affleck's Dark Knight, it's the same goddamn costume.
It's the Dark Knight Returns it's the costume from that.
Very nice.
So it's the big hulking with the big fat bat. And we also have a really weird-looking Batman Beyond skin that looks pretty badass. And then there was also another pre-order bonus on the PlayStation 4 that has Batman from Justice League 3000, where in this one, this Cadmus takes the DNA from the original Justice League and grows new Justice League members, but they're all assholes because they haven't lived through what the original people have lived through. So their Batman is just kind of like meh, because his parents never died. He's just a dude. And then their Superman is a jerk because he was never raised by Ma and Pa Kent, so he doesn't have the values that Superman has. And that's Sonny. Stop kicking my cable, all right? But
I'm actually looking at the pack for now you mentioned. Wow, that Batman Beyond one looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then that same Batman Beyond, the same Justice League 3000 skin, that's also going to come with the Adam West Batman. And also a Batmobile skin that didn't show off yet. But wouldn't that be cool if you could do the animated, like that car just turns into the animated series Batmobile, which is that super long, like crazy, like it looks like a boat but on wheels. Like I want that, guys.
I don't know about that Dark Knight Returns Batman. He looks pretty overweight.
It's a little, yeah. It's a little because someone mentioned that, and I was kind of like, I feel like because Dark Knight Returns, the art style was really like kind of exaggerated, so I feel like this is kind of the compromise they had to make to make it look like Arkham Knight.
It looks absolutely disgusting. He should just be called Batman.
He does, yeah. And how like someone said that the Batman logo on his chest looks like a rectangle with like little Batman ears on it. Basically, it does kind of, but.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the Batman Beyond skin. That looks.
The Batman Beyond one looks pretty cool. I like the Dark Knight Returns one too, just because I love Dark Knight Returns. But it is a little weird looking.
I can't play with a fat Batman. I'm sorry.
It's weathered Batman. All right, and before we get into what everyone's playing, Ryan, what the hell is Kung Fury, and why should I care?
So Kung Fury came out today, and it's basically, I guess the elevator pitch is it's Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon the movie, as I've said to other people. But it's basically, so it's a short film that just released today. It had its premiere on YouTube. I think it's going to be on a TV channel, I think, this week, too, as like a TV premiere. But it's a short film that did a Kickstarter in end of 2013. and then it just came out today. It's a half-hour short film, but basically, yeah, it's this like short film that basically is every 80s action movie cliche and everything you could ever imagine in one ridiculous movie.
It's awesome,
and it's great. It's really fun. You can watch the trailer, but honestly, like it's on YouTube now, so you can just go ahead and watch it. It's great. It's a really fun. If you love
watched it yet, Joel?
No, I haven't.
It's it's pretty ridiculous. That's great.
Yeah, there's a GIF online that has the main character in a bandana, sunglasses, firing a gun from on top of a Ferrari that's flying through the air.
So pretty much, it takes everything from your childhood that was amazing and puts it into 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then there are other wonderful things, like there are laser raptors, and then his Kung
laser raptors, Ryan.
And then Kung Fury's partner is Triceracop, who's half human and half Triceratops.
Okay.
It's pretty great. And then he runs into Vikings, and I won't spoil anymore because it's just worth experiencing for.
That's pretty awesome.
Approximately 32 minutes and 1 second. So.
Oh, okay, great. I'm sold. I'm gonna watch it. Joel, what have you been playing?
What do you think, George? The Witcher. That's it.
Hearthstone.
Just The Witcher. Well, when I've gotten the time to.
You weren't here for our big Witcher discussion last week, so
I'm
where are you so far? How do you feel?
I'm still very early in the game. I probably played like 10 hours, and I'm literally like a level 5, like a level 6. I learned the hard way not to take on quests that you're not ready for.
Yeah,
you will get owned hard. No, because you know what you do is, like, let's say you go into a town and you pick up, and this is a pro tip. If you're gonna start The Witcher and they tell you to go to the board of the town and pick up all the extra quests that you can do while you're there, when you log those quests, like, the game immediately like starts you on one of them. So it's like, oh, go save this guy, whatever. So then you're gonna start the quest, and you're not gonna actually check in your log what level it is. And then you're going to start the quest, and you're going to get owned by giant spiders. So you're going to learn the hard way that it pays off to hit that options button and go take a look at what you're getting yourself involved in before you go adventuring. If not, you're going to get owned a lot.
My pro tip is to read the bestiality. Bestiality.
His dog is biting on the sex toys, and that's what he's doing.
The bestiary.
The bestiary index, where it tells you the weaknesses of all the monsters that you're facing. So yeah, sometimes you'll fight a Noon Wraith and you'll be like, "Why is my sword not doing any damage?" And it's just because you got to lay it in a Yarden trap, you moron. Yeah, you only figure that out by actually reading the thing, and it tells you the weakness there. And then there are books that you can buy that will just kind of tell you the weaknesses already, so you don't have to like discover the monsters and then they'll come up.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of fitzing around back into your menus and stuff, which I wish there was an easier way of doing it, but it's already a lot better than how The Witcher 2 did it, because the way The Witcher 2 did it is when you take a contract, you actually have to go find a book about werewolves, and then once you read it, then you'll get like a bonus damage against werewolves. This one is a little bit more different, where it's just like, if you kill one, you unlock a weakness. If you do some Batman vision stuff, it'll tell you when you go read its profile and be like, hey, its weaknesses is a igni, a smoke bomb, and crossbow or something, and that will save your life.
And oh, I was gonna say one thing I wanted to say also, because you're talking about like having all these things at your disposal. I love that the game starts out and it's like, hey, have all these abilities, knock yourself out right from the beginning. Yeah, it's not like, let's go do this BS quest, let's go waste an hour so you can learn this skill that you're gonna need for the rest of the game. Well, let's go learn. It doesn't, like games like God of War have that piece to them. Where it's like, let's go get this chest plate.
You have to handhold you through for a while.
Right, let's go get the gauntlet. Let's go get this. And we're just more like, hey, here's 2 swords, a crossbow, and 5 abilities. Go have fun.
Yeah, you're a Witcher. You've been doing this forever. Like, Geralt is almost 100 years old. He's like, no, he knows what he's doing, all right? You need to know what you're doing, because this guy knows what he's doing, all right? Don't make him look bad.
I like that. I like that a lot.
But yeah, Witcher is great. But the discussion is, do you feel like, are you going to finish Witcher 3, or at some point are you going to get like distracted? Because we were joking.
It definitely has that. It definitely has that same like Skyrim kind of like, I'm gonna go save this world. I got to go save Ciri, but I really got to get this cat out of this tree for this lady. So I mean, it's the nature of the beast. But you know what? I held off on buying Dragon Age because I've wanted a game where I can kind of just like not have to worry about who's online and just enjoy it.
Right.
I feel like everything I've played in the last year, it was always like it's better with friends. And it's like it's good. I don't have to depend on anybody. I can just turn on the console and just.
Well, Dragon Age just has those co-op modes, but the main game you can just kind of jump in. But
but I knew The Witcher was coming, and I know that listen, CD Projekt Red, in my opinion, I do not represent the website. I think they beat out BioWare at their own game. And Giuseppe's said that in the past. I really think The Witcher. I think CD Projekt Red puts together a hell of an RPG.
I think world building. I think The Witcher 3 is amazing. Dragon Age is a little bit like up its own ass as far as like, it's huge. It's sprawling. There's a lot of political nonsense happening, and everything they say is so serious and the most important thing ever. The Witcher, it just kind of when you play The Witcher, you feel like he is just inhabiting this really messed up world. And maybe that's the benefit of like he kind of knows how bad everything is. He just knows like, hey, my job's to kill. I have to save this girl, but also my job is to kill monsters and make some money on the side. And like he doesn't really choose sides. Like I love the quests that are just kind of like you have to pick a side, and like both people are kind of jerks. So
Geralt's an asshole, man. Geralt, he just wants money. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, my cat is like
Geralt is basically the hitman version of the dude from The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
The world is going to be the world. And he's going to make decisions, but at the end of the day, it's like, he's just going to be him no matter what.
He wants his money, bro. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit what happens.
Words to live by. But there's so many dialogue options with literally the option is, I don't care. I don't care what you people are squabbling.
Just give my money. Just give my money.
I'm going to move on, all right? I have to go kill Withern, all right? You people are annoying. But yeah, I'm digging The Witcher 2. Ryan, what are you playing?
I haven't really had a lot of time to play a lot lately, just because of work.
Here we go.
Last week or two, a little bit of Smash Brothers, George.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
So it's like just on my bus. But no, mostly at home. I've just been playing a little bit of Destiny with the House of Wolves expansion. Is really all I've had time to play. But I started The Witcher 1 last week, so I'm gonna dive back into more of that this weekend. So I know that made Yaris probably really happy. So.
I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. By the way, I mean, how are you enjoying the Destiny? I mean, like Al and Joel, sometimes I see them like hopping on and off the game, and it's hard for me to get back into it. And I don't know, it's because I'm not playing with other people, or I mean, how's the new expansion? I mean, is it worth it?
I think so. I think it's finally good.
I mean, it's still Destiny, so whether you like it or love it or hate it or anything in between, like I think it's still the same. But I think House of Wolves, from what I've been playing so far, seems like it's definitely a big step up from Dark Below, which a lot of people saw was kind of just kind of more the same. Like it was just a couple extra missions and there wasn't a lot of content. But I feel like House of Wolves does that, and I also like House of Wolves, I think, because it makes a lot of changes takes out some of the grindiness of Destiny a little bit. So it gets you leveling a little bit more quickly, and there's more reward, I think, involved in that. But I've been enjoying it because like Destiny, I've kind of been like, I'll play it for a while and then I'll kind of drop out again, then I'll play it a while again, and drop out. So, but yeah, I've been playing pretty regularly since it came out a couple weeks ago. So I've been enjoying it.
What you gotta do, Ryan? I swear I'm gonna strangle you when I get to New York. I'm not even kidding when I say that. All these fucking games you play, you still don't play The Witcher. Like, just leave all these games alone. Look, you have all these games, leave them alone. Just play The Witcher. Just do yourself that favor, please. Stop the bullshit.
The Witcher 1, I think the way you're gonna do it is gonna be kind of interesting because you're gonna see the progression and like, all right, The Witcher 1, it's it's a decent kind of computer or PC RPG when you think about it, and then you just see the evolution going from Witcher 2, because Witcher 2 is phenomenal but still had some problems as far as like the combat and just kind of like the really cumbersome menu.
Yeah, I thought about going,
and it's gonna be like mind blown. They still need to fix some things. But,
yeah, I mean, it's a really big transition from Witcher 1 to Witcher 2. I mean, for one, like Witcher 1, I think they were using BioWare's engine Or was it BioWare's engine?
Yeah, it's BioWare's engine.
For Neverwinter Nights, for Baldur's Gate, and they pretty much created their own engine for Witcher 2. So when I saw like Zoltan, when I saw his face from like Witcher 1 to Witcher 2, I was like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, it's completely black and white.
I've only gotten a little bit into Witcher 1. I haven't played a whole lot, but I've been enjoying it. It's and because I when I wanted to go through the series, I thought about whether I wanted to start from 1 and work towards 3, or go the opposite way and go 3 to 1. But I figured it would probably be hard to go back to 2 or 1 after playing 3. So I figured 3 will be like the reward at the end of the road for getting through.
Chronologically, it makes more sense to do it from Witcher 1. I mean, because you'll get a real good understanding of what's happening when you jump into Witcher 2, which pretty much just starts you in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to be playing a lot of this weekend. Even though I did get a little turned up by seeing Geralt running like a lunatic with his sword in Witcher 1, where he runs like this and like holds it over his head and like whacks.
That's hilarious.
It's a little wacky looking. But no, after the only other things I played and reviewed Life is Strange episode 3 and Game of Thrones episode 4. So Life is Strange went up, and Game of Thrones should probably be coming up in the next like a couple days.
Both good?
Yeah, they were both good. Life is Strange, the latest episode, I think, was probably the best out of the series so far. Is my favorite so far out of the 3. Game of Thrones still tends to be a little inconsistent for me. Like, it has some pretty good episodes, okay. And that, yeah, I mean, like, I guess like Game of Thrones, yes. But the series, like, I'm enjoying Game of Thrones. I don't enjoy it as much as some of Telltale's other series. I think it just has a lot of problems with pacing, and I don't really like how they've been incorporating the characters from the show. Like, I think they're doing it in a good way. I just wish they maybe took a different approach where they didn't try and tie it into the show.
So kind of like Game of Thrones, then.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but it's still been good. I think this was a little bit one of the weaker episodes, but I'm looking forward to see where it goes.
The Sons of Winter. Yaris, what? I'm kind of afraid to ask. You'll pull some crazy retro nonsense, but what have you been doing?
Dude. The retro scene has been put on hold for the time being. I haven't touched consoles in quite some time. Right now, I'm actually playing Witcher 2. Like Ryan, I'm going through the Witcher series again before I just get my feet wet with Witcher 3. So I'm halfway through Witcher 2 right now, which is an amazing game. Probably one of the best games I've played to date. And I'm pretty sure Witcher 3 I'm going to say the same thing about as well. And I'm playing the BioShock games all over again on PC.
Oh, nice.
What spurned that?
I don't know. I think I was looking at an Unreal 4 like engine mod, or like somebody created like the BioShock world in Unreal 4 engine, and I was just like taken back by it, so I decided to just explore the world again.
I think the original BioShock is still timeless. I think I could go back and play that game like over and over and still enjoy it as much as I did the first time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, BioShock 2, not so much. But BioShock Infinite, I could probably go back and enjoy too. I've wanted to go back and replay Infinite because I haven't really.
BioShock Infinite has the fucking craziest ending ever, but.
Yeah, well, I think actually because I first played BioShock Infinite on the Xbox 360, which looked like crap, and now I have a PC that can handle it and run it at full specs. So that's kind of why I want to go back and play it to see it again because it looks great on PC.
To do that, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I think like 2 weeks ago, I beat the Half-Life games all over again. And for no reason, because it just pissed me off, so... Fucking Gabe Newell in this decade fucking time to release Half-Life 3. I hope he gets a heart attack.
So you were mad...
I really don't. I'm sorry, Gabe. I love you.
So just to be clear, you were mad at Gabe Newell, so you decided to play his games over again.
No. I wasn't mad at him. I wasn't mad at him during playing the game. I was mad at him after I played the game.
Okay, I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Hope you like that game.
It's a really good game. I tried to get Joel to play it. I think he purchased the Half-Life Orange pack for PS3, which doesn't do the game. Yeah, the Orange box,
yeah.
Which I don't think does the game any justice compared to PC. Just my opinion.
Of Half-Life 2? Or
Half-Life 2, yeah.
I think it's okay. I mean,
my phone can play that game. This has been 15 years now, Yaris. Come on.
Dude, it's like Ryan just said, it's a timeless game.
Okay, but I'm saying you can run it on an iPhone now.
Okay, then download for your iPhone.
No, but I mean, I think Half-Life 2, like, I think it's more than just graphics. I think it's just like the presentation, especially the art direction and the style of the game is still like it's still one of the most like when I think of like first-person games, just games in general, that's still one of the ones that pops out at me the most is Half-Life. I mean, that's still like one of my all-time favorite games. It's a top 5 for me. So,
same.
And I played that game like probably 6 or 7 times now at this point. So.
Yeah, I'm not that sad, but yeah, it's a good game.
Awesome. I'm in Joel's boat. I've been playing a lot of Witcher 3 and Pool Effects Nation. Just kidding. Yeah, Witcher 3 is still really good. I'm maybe 20 hours in, and I feel like I just scratched the surface. Like I did kind of the way I played the same way I played Skyrim, and how I played Inquisition is like I know that this area is a story quest, so I do all the other things surrounding it, and the Witcher world map has a ton of just like random question marks that could sometimes be a quest, or sometimes it's treasure, sometimes it's a bandit camp, sometimes it's hostages, sometimes it's a monster nest, sometimes it's whatever. So you can literally just decide like I'm gonna head west for a while and see what happens, and you unlock villages and they have contracts there, and yeah,
I've heard
a lot of game.
I've heard from people playing that it's basically like you finish one quest and then like 4 more quests will open up from that one that you complete, and it's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many. Because there's a couple of.
I mean, it's literally open world though. Because I mean, Witcher 2, it's still. I mean, it's a massive world, but it's still static in the sense that it's linear.
Yeah.
Where
No,
Witcher
this
3
is definitely open world. This
right.
was a huge land mass that you can just kind of. You know, and I hated when they did that because when we first started seeing The Witcher 3 and people were, and they were demoing it, it's like, you see that mountain over there, you can go, haha, and then that became like the phrase to describe everyone's like open world RPG for a while. They did it with like Zelda, they did it with like Dragon Age, and it was just like, oh yeah, you see that thing over there, you can walk all the way over there. But yeah, it was The Witcher. I think it was the Witcher 3 demos that that started that trend of like that PR speak of like go anywhere you want, but. Yeah, it does do that, and I'm playing it on consoles, and I think it's got pretty good draw distances where you are like, yeah, I was just in that weird light tower that it's like 100 miles away. Like, yeah, I could walk there if I want, but why would you? Because your horse is awesome. I mean, he's also kind of a adult, but I love Roach. I mean, and Joel, I don't know, have you had any horse issues while you were playing yet?
I love it when I get like I'll jump off of him. And like I'll walk away like 10 feet, and I'm whistling, and he's just standing like an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm like, Roach, get over here now. Get over here, I'll kill you in front of these people. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, like I just killed a friggin' harpy. Like I want to look like a badass as I trot out of
Get
town.
over here right now, you idiot.
And
he's like eating hay.
That's funny.
But,
Isn't Roach the name of the other guy too though? The dude that wears a diaper on his head. What's his name?
La Roche?
The dude that wears a diaper on his head. That's great.
No, that's La Roche. He was the.
That is La Roche. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, on his head. That's kind of racist if they weren't make-believe people. But
What?
all right, I think we're gonna call it here, guys. On that note, I was joined this week by the ever awesome. I don't know. I'm out of words at this night. Joel Tavares. Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me on.
I can always depend on Ryan to bring up amiibos. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
Brothers.
I'm not gonna say anything because George is gonna get
Shouldn't. And always the static image of Yaris.
Smiling like a douchebag. Yeah, thanks for having me, George. Appreciate it.
I hope that you figure out webcams at some point.
I'm seriously. I'm having a B-Mobile on my Amazon cart, so I'm gonna add a webcam there too. I have my Mega Man.
Along with your Rockman amiibo.
No, it's actually the U.S. version, which is $32.99 right now on Amazon. So I'm gonna actually pay for that.
Well, excuse me. And thank you guys for watching. We are the staff from DualShockers.com.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening. You should subscribe on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. We've been on iTunes this whole time. We didn't know, but we are. So subscribe on all your iDevices. You can listen. There's stuff every other week, so you should do that. You should check out our website for news, reviews, sometimes videos. We do all weird stuff, and
no more T-shirts.
And no more T-shirts, unfortunately. God damn it.
No.
But keep an eye out. We will soon have our E3 prediction show. Before me and Ryan fly off to California. We're going.
We still got like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
like 3 episodes.
But I like teasing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be our, I think the way it's going to work is we're going to run through all the conferences and be like, all right, what do you think they're going to show? And then we're going to be like, Fallout 4, and be like, what if they don't show it? And then we'll kill ourselves. But, that's what that show is going to be about. I think we're going to podcast during E3 also, so there's going to be a lot of just content just flying at your faces and your ears. So be ready for that. There'll be some joysticking with George's coming up this week. It's been rough because my computer decided not to capture video anymore. She said, "Nah, man, you like 60 frames per second? How's 15?" There we go. So yeah. So once I figure out that solution, there'll be more going up. But yeah, I will have a Witcher 3 video up where I think I'm just gonna head left. I'm gonna pick a spot in the map and just go left for like 45 minutes, and we'll see what happens. See what kind of trouble we get Geralt. Geralt? Who says Geralt? Who says Geralt?
I think if you keep going, you're gonna wind up in the areas that Dragon Age take place in, and there's gonna be a crazy crossover where like anything can happen.
Yes, it's all the same universe. I love it.
And Geralt's just gonna kill everything.
And just being indifferent.
Mutant.
I made 4 gold. I don't care about your problems.
Poor Geralt.
Where's Roach? Get over here, Roach. You make me look bad. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this week.
Roach has special needs.
Roach is
Let's go.
dumb horse. And I'm like blinders on him. Like my Roach has blinders so he doesn't freak out because I'm fighting wolves and he gets scared and he throws me off the horse. I'm like, and then he did that when I was fighting bandits and I was like, these bandits.
He can't see anything. You turn them into. I'm not even gonna go there. Let's not even go there. Let's not go there. Let's just end this.
I'm just saying I look bad in front of bandits, and they were just kind of let's kill them. Man. Guys, thanks for watching. This was ShockCast 207. Ryan will put some clever name on it and some stupid header image. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
We love you. Wow.